Hello and welcome to day number 40. Wow, it still blows me away that we've been doing this long. Anyway, uh, is it 40 or 41? Did I screw up again? Hang on. What day is it? I thought I had this all figured out. This is day 41. Push the button. Yeah, it's day 41. Sorry, I meant day 40. Uh, a long day. Anyway, uh, welcome to day 40. Get back in here so I'm looking at the right stuff. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Valerie. Hey, Gretchen. Welcome. And yeah, if you noticed, I updated my thumbnail a little bit. The I kind of improved the keyboard so it's more looks like the piano M, and then Maestro is a little more happier with me now. He's still ticked off because the piano frequently sits on my desk, and when it's up here, he can't walk across the desk and kind of make an appearance and fluff his tail around. So uh, he usually will sit off in the corner and stare at me till I'm done playing frequently. But yeah, so I'm updating a few things here and there. So to give you a little update on the Airwave situation, the hardware piece that I ordered, I had to order a little hub, and that's being delivered today. It's out for delivery, but it hasn't made it here yet. So we'll hopefully get this today. I can tinker around with it, and then tomorrow we'll have everything set up and we'll be ready to start using the Airwave online. I've been playing with it when I in my practice sessions and stuff, and it's really cool. The stuff that it does. It's been a lot of fun, and it definitely has enhanced my learning and fingering and a bunch of other stuff. So it's uh, it's going to be fun. But anyway, I'm going to kind of make things a little simple. There is one person on this thing that was responsible for me in a way of getting this keyboard, and that is Val, who's on the stream with us today. And she's been harping on me to play a song for her. And I've been putting it off and putting it off. So today I'm going to play a special request by Val. It's one of the lessons, and it's something that probably everybody knows. But we're going to go back in here. We'll go into the practice window. And so we're going to go in. I flagged it. So it's a real hard song. So I've been tinkering around with this a little bit. So rather than going through the whole listening and all that stuff, we're just going to try in and jump in and see if we can do the challenge, and we'll see what happens. This may go well, it may not, but it should go pretty good. What is going on here? Hang on. We're out of sync. I know. I'm not that far off. My timing is not always good, but it's not that good. Bad. Okay, sorry. Here. Start up the piano. There's something interesting frequently. It seems to get out of sync a little bit. A lot of times when I bring it into the stream and I had it working, and then I kind of had shut some things off, and apparently it came back to bite me. Okay, so we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to turn up my volume in my ear. Can go back to favorites. I'm going to hit this. And see. Okay, got that. Now we'll see what happens. I think I did practice. Ta-da! So this is one of the things that I wanted to show you. So it kind of shows you the rhythm accuracy and how things, so we kind of didn't do really good here, but we did pretty good on the note accuracy and everything. So over here on the other side of the screen, there's this chart. And down here at the bottom, it's kind of showing you the area that you had difficulty with. And so basically what it's doing is it's giving you this little loop symbol. So what you can do is if you hit this loop symbol, and it will cycle back to that. So it will keep doing that until you take it out of the loop. So it gives you a chance to practice areas that you're having issues with. And actually, since I've done this enough times, let's go out of here and let's just jump into the challenge. See what happens. Yeah. So the other thing that you notice at the keyboard, so I got 5 stars up here. It's showing 5 stars on the keyboard, or 5 gold stars. There's 1 star, 2 stars, 3 stars, 4 stars, 5 stars. So the keyboard actually even lights up with the number of stars that you have earned when you are playing the song too, which is kind of fun. But anyway, that's Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Now you want me to sing and play? Oh yeah, right. That's like walking and chewing bubble gum. Let's see where we go from here. So we started working on the song Walking on Sunshine yesterday. So let's kind of go back into...
Hey, Celia here. Today we're going to be learning Walking on Sunshine. This is such a fun song. For this, we'll be learning a more upbeat pattern that uses both of your hands. For this piece, we'll be focusing on rhythm. Rhythm is the pattern of sound and movement that helps give a piece structure, kind of like a heartbeat. It'll help you play more consistently and in time, and it'll help you stay grounded overall.
I think my heartbeat has an arrhythmia.
This piece has a short intro, a verse that repeats, and then a chorus that you'll learn. Let's begin with the intro. To find your starting note, you're going to put your thumb and your pinky in your right and left hand on C, which is red. These are the notes that you'll be focusing on in this song. Now, talking about the rhythm for this song, here's what it sounds like really slow.
Okay. I didn't practice this today.
This pattern might seem really challenging at first, but take it slow and work up to speed. It might take you a few hours or even a few days to get it down. It's important to stay really consistent with your practice.
What am I doing? Get the fingers working. Okay.
Now, let's get back into the second section of the song that you're going to learn. You're going to start in the same hand position as you did with the first section, with your thumb and your pinkies both on C and G. This pattern also repeats. Here's what it sounds like. Practice that a few times the same way as you did with the first section. Start really slow and work up to speed.
We screw up that ending. That again.
Hey, Celia here. Today we're going to be learning Walking on Sunshine.
Stop.
Now, let's get back into the second.
Let's go there. Cookies. What happens there? Come on. You got 3.
When you feel confident on that, you've actually learned the whole song. The next section is really just the same as the first one that you learned. So let's try putting it all together.
the journey.
Remember to keep practicing and especially keep listening to this pattern. You can learn a lot just through listening. When I come across a challenging rhythmic pattern, what I like to do is I tap the rhythm along throughout my day, even when I'm off the keyboard. That can help me really solidify it.
You know, that's not... That was interesting. I also realized one of the things I was struggling with is I knew the song, but I wasn't connecting how this was all fitting together. And it wasn't until just now when I started doing this and heard all the pieces that my brain sunk all the pieces and I could play it. And I think that's kind of been one of my challenges, you know, through playing piano, you know, at least in my later years, is I could sort of read music, I could figure the music out and all that stuff, but as far as trying to get the timing down, unless I actually knew what the sounded like and had some reference point to put it to, it was hard for me to play the song and put it together. And, you know, it was like there were all these crazy notes in this rhythm pattern, but it was like, and I knew this song, but I couldn't figure out how this related to what I was going to play. And so when hearing that, it suddenly clicked together. I'm going to try this one last time. I think this, whoop. Here we go.
Now that we've learned all the sections of the song, how did you...
Sort of. Anyway, wow, that was interesting. So we're going to get new goals at the end of the day today. So we're going to have new goals for the upcoming week. Those should get posted later on tonight. It says in 6 hours. So let's see where we are. We completed the streak. We've been playing for 6 weeks now. And we put in a total of 18 hours in this program of practicing. I've practiced for 22 minutes today in here. So we're getting there. I can see an improvement. I mean, there's still days where I struggle with some things and have some trouble. And then there are other days where things seem a lot easier than what they are. But we're starting to get into some more challenging stuff with both hands. And then it's not going to be long before we start playing, you know, multiple keys with one hand and stuff like that. I am trying to go every day and working on scales. That's one of the things that is kind of fun in here. Let's see, go out of here. Come on, out it. So I do try to go in every day and work on scales on both the left hand, the right hand, and putting them together. And that kind of builds the coordination of the hand, excuse me, the hands and stuff like that. So that's something that I work on every day. Occasionally I'll come in here and do one, you know, while we're on the stream and stuff. But you know, it is something that is extremely important, both in the scales and then also practicing chords and you know, doing the chords, then one notes through the chords and stuff like that. So I've been working on those two in the background a little bit. I haven't been practicing as much during the day as I actually want to. So that's kind of one of my goals for this upcoming week, is to get some more practice time in. Hopefully, once I get the interface set up so that we can bring the Airwave in, I can kind of share some of the fun stuff on the back end that the Airwave is bringing into this, but we'll see what happens. So anyway, we're going to kind of call it quits for today. If you are new here, we do this every day. I was asked why I stream my practice sessions every day, because some days it doesn't sound like music. It sounds kind of like noise. And it's like, I do this for me. It helps keep me accountable. It requires me to have to practice every day, even if I don't want to practice, or something's coming up. I have to make the time to practice because I'm doing it live. Some days I have a couple people in here. Sometimes I don't have anybody. Like today we have 4 people in here with us, and thank you all for joining us. And, it's, some people turn it on and listen to this and they work on other stuff around, and it's just kind of, some background sound and stuff while they work on little projects and stuff like that. But like I said, it keeps me accountable, and it also makes me open to making mistakes, and allows myself to be vulnerable. And it's something that 4 years ago when I first started live streaming, maybe it's even closer to 5 now, if I would have played this and I would have made a mistake, I would have turned the computer off, I would have shut it off, and I would have never gone live again. And that's not the case. If you've been around here, you've seen where I've had problems with scenes and the stream does weird stuff and things don't quite work right, and we just work through the problems. It's the same way with the piano. Part of the journey in learning, anything you do, is you can't learn unless you make mistakes. And so we make a lot of mistakes around here, and that's okay. You learn from those mistakes. You hear the notes and it's like, that's not right. And then you just have to figure out what you did wrong, go back, retry it again, keep practicing and learning, and moving on. And each day, and I've noticed that each day I am getting better. Some days are better than others, but I can tell overall that I am improving and I am learning different things and able. I talked about this, there's a song, Christori's Dream. It's a very advanced song that I used to play. I've been tinkering around with that in the background, and I am amazed. It's very complicated, but I am able to play a lot of that song just from, I guess it's turning on, lost brain cells and stuff. I'm able to make the connections, and those exercises and playing that song with all the crazy movements has actually been helping me get better with my fingering and all that stuff. So it's kind of fun. I'm also documenting this journey for me so that in 6 months or whatever, I can go back and look at the differences. And I think I may just kind of make a little video of progression of where I started and, kind of the journey along the way. But my goal is to be able to do this for a full year. I've thought of times of skipping some days rather than doing it every day and just practice on my own, but I know me, and it's important for me to do this every day. Now, there are going to be times where I won't stream necessarily. I'm going to be going to London in April for a week. It's going to be very difficult for me to stream my practice sessions at that point in time. I'm taking the smaller keyboard with me so that I can still practice, but I won't necessarily be streaming during that period of time because the setup so you can see the keyboard and all the other stuff going on is going to be a little harder to do when I'm on the road. But so there will be some times where I do miss stuff, but those are going to be very rare, and there has to be a really good excuse for me missing those days, like going to London for a trip. And I'll be like, on that trip, I'm going to be gone for a week. So, some things coming up and stuff like that. I'm also hoping that when I get to London, that I might be able to drop in on the ROLI studio and talk to the people over there and introduce myself and meet some of them. So that's all up in the air. We'll see what happens. But if you're new here and you want to follow this journey, here is see if I get the right button today. this is a link to my mailing list that I dropped into chat. So if you sign up for that, I send out an email usually on Mondays with my practice schedule for the week. If something interesting happens during the week, I may drop that in there. Like, pretty quiet now that all the equipment is basically arrived. But if something should come up, or if there is a situation where I'm going to have to miss a day or change the time, I'll put that in there. I'll send an email out for that. Also, as you notice, we have a little tip jar next to the piano. If you'd like to drop something in that, it's mostly there for fun. Those of you that have already dropped a tip in, thank you so much. It's highly appreciated. And if you are interested in the ROLI system and the learning using this platform and stuff, here is a link to a 20% discount for purchasing any of the products from ROLI. So you can check that out. Now, I will preface this with the fact that they are still catching up from when this product just came out, like in November, it started shipping. So they are still catching up with all the pre-orders and getting caught up. So if you were to order one today, it would be mid to late April before you would receive it. So just keep that in mind. And the other thing I wanted to bring out to a couple of people who've had some conversations, this is not a keyboard in the normal sense of a piano where you click keys and it plays music, you can plug a speaker in it. This is more of a MIDI interface. So it has to connect to either like the Learn application, or they also have something called ROLI Studio, which makes sound. So it has to interface with something that actually produces the sound. This just sends MIDI signals of the keys that you play. So it's not I couldn't pick this up, go down the hallway, plug in my little, handy speakers into it and play music. I would have to have my iPad or my laptop with me in order to interface with the actual software that actually generates the sounds and all that stuff. So just keep that in mind. But anyway, thank you. Oh, Jeff had a question. Sorry. Let's see, where's Jeff? Looking for the question. Did I miss it? I'm looking. Sorry, Jeff. Oh, yes, actually they are. They're all in here. There is, like I said, there is a whole list of, sorry, in the games and all this stuff, but there is a whole set of, I guess I need to get back into the practice session. There is a whole series of all the scales. So when you go into them, it shows you that the keyboard lights up with all the notes on both the left and the right hand. And so, it tells you the fingering of how to play it. Let's see, I've got, and then you can change this and you can go to minor, major seventh, major, minor seventh. So you have all the different variations of the scales listed in here. So when you change this, it changes to the keys light up so that you know the chords and the fingering and all that stuff goes in here. So you have the chords and you also have the scales. So all these different things tie together. So yeah, that's very much of, and it will tell you that challenge you to do a scale practice or a chord practice each week. So yeah, and it does the fingering too. So now it tells me to cross over, and then you repeat it. So that fingering exercise is important. Then you can get to the point, you can do the left hand. Which is not doing good. And then you get to the point where you can do them together. Okay. I screwed that fingering up, but yeah, you can go through the practices, the scales, it definitely, and it takes you through all the variations. It says, yeah, the ROLI Studio itself, or the ROLI Studio is an application that is kind of like a DAW, kind of like Logic Pro, but it's not really. It allows you, and I'm going to do an episode once we get everything going here that shows what Studio is, but it basically allows you to play music You can like hit one key and play a chord. You can do arpeggios with the chords. You can do a lot of interesting things with it. And the studio also allows you to bring in using the Airwave with moving your hands. But you have to have, for the ROLI Learn program, which is what I'm using here, you have to have either a ROLI Piano or the Piano M to make that work. So it takes one of those two things. They work hand in hand together. The Airwave itself will work with any kind of keyboard. You can actually use the Airwave to, you could like sing a note and use the Airwave hand maneuvers, movements and stuff like that with your hands to manipulate the sound of the voice, your voice and all that stuff. But it does require a DAW, something like Logic Pro, or the ROLI Studio. Logic Pro or GarageBand will allow you to record keys and different things that you play and add drums and other kind of things. It helps you build out a song. But yeah, so they are pretty tied together. The Learn program does require a ROLI keyboard, either the Piano or the Piano M. They have more of a professional keyboard called the C-board, and I think that's the name of it, but it doesn't work with that. It's strictly the Piano or the Piano M. Hopefully that answered the question. But like I said, it is really, really, really cool. I am so happy I got this. It's been loads and loads and loads of fun. It's brought a lot of enjoyment to me. I frequently will get up in the morning and play. Sometimes in the evening before I go to bed, I'll get inspired and I'll come over and I'll just clunk around on the piano and try a couple things like that. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. We will be back tomorrow. It's 2 o'clock Pacific time, and to do this all over again. But I appreciate you joining me on the journey, and I will see you on the next stream. Take care.